Are you sick of anime whose characters marionette around parroting tired tropes regardless of whether they actually make sense? Are you sick of every show being set in high school for some reason? There has to be a better way! Are you sick of written economies that make no damn sense? No? Well, you're probably sick of all that other stuff, and I'm sick of shallow economies, so I am absolutely thrilled to be able to say that a real all-time classic is back to hopefully finish what it started 2 decades ago. Hey guys, punished Venom Griffin this time. Still recovering from the incident. I only got to sulk for all of 2 weeks though, because Spice and Wolf is back. What a weird thing to be able to say. We've been having kind of a year for second chances, and for those of you who don't know, Spice and Wolf is a long-time what-if in classic anime. The original aired 2 seasons in 2008, and then abruptly stopped due to reasons I can't conclusively find, actually. It's assumed it wasn't profitable enough, and the author apparently was negative on a season 3, but nothing concrete. Anyway, it cut off right after a narrative peak without finishing its story, even though there was plenty of source material still unadapted. Even unfinished, it was something really special. Look, everyone's got that one show that really locked in their interest in anime. Their Studio Trigger, their Gundam, their, God forbid, Sword Art Online, and for me, that's Spice and Wolf. I've still got the bootleg CDs my brother burned for my 13th birthday floating around somewhere. But unlike some other classic shows, my love for Spice and Wolf isn't something I feel the need to qualify, even as an adult. Maybe especially as an adult, and the things that make it deeply uncringe seem to have carried over to its reboot successfully. Now, the reboot isn't perfect. The directing is sometimes just serviceable, even if reviewing footage it had more care than I realized watching through the first time. Its 3D animation is bad, even if it doesn't show up very often. I do not know why they chose to start the opening in this style. They cut to perfectly good animation shortly after, and this song is good in isolation, and oh no, there's more half-assed 3D. Why would you put it in the opening? This is not a perfect show, but shows don't have to be perfect to have that spark of personality that leaves a lasting impression. I don't want to sound conceited, but it's really rare for me to run into a character that's obviously smarter than me. Not bullshit BBC Sherlock plot smart, actually inferring stuff that I technically could have, but just didn't have the horsepower to. When Holo guesses that coin minters would make small changes ahead of large ones to test market reactions, I go, oh right, they would do that, and then I sit the fuck up in my seat. While other shows make me wait around for the mystery's solution to be revealed to me, Spice and Wolf has me participating in a way I haven't in years. When Lawrence announces that he knows what's going on, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe if the guy had a wealthy partner, drumming up demand for a coin that's declining in quality would help exchange them for a competitor that will go way up in relative value if they announce the quality drop. Then this guy says they're going to be able to get a bunch of silver coins for cheap as scammed merchants offload, and you're like, oh, yeah, they would. But wait a second, the whole reason they get them easy is because their value went down, so what's even the point? And then 2 seconds later, the guy's like, so the real question's what they want all that silver for. See what I mean? Spice and Wolf has me more interested in fucking currency exchange rates than other shows manage when they're at bat with vampire family murder mysteries. I think a lot of that comes down to most mystery shows being more interested in the how than the why. Your standard murder mystery is all about figuring out how it happened, and the motive is usually revealed as an afterthought during the explanation. But in Spice and Wolf, the focus is on figuring out what someone is going to do, and the way that's done is by sussing out their underlying motive. That's way more compelling to me, and opens up a field of maneuvering only found in, what, gambling shows? Con artist shows? Kaguya-sama? And we haven't even gotten to the characters. I am so happy to not be in fucking high school for once. A mature romance between adults with character depth? Is such a thing even possible today? The rare adult romances we do get almost always fall victim to the same flat NPC dialogue as every other show, and it's actually worse with adults because at least the teenagers have an excuse. I mean, come on. I like Recovery of an MMO Junkie, despite its Nazi creator, and these guys do have a level of nuance and realism, but I still don't register them as real people on a gut level. My Happy Marriage was a disappointment on every level, and Wotakoi achieves character realism, but in exchange, all of these people are just boring. At this point, it's becoming kind of a red flag to see normal adults in your romance anime. Thank God we have Spice and Wolf here to remind us what actual quality looks like. Do you know how rare it is to have characters with moderation in their character traits? To have a proud character who isn't just a proud character. any other anime has resident proud girl kick in the door of the high school classroom like, hey, proud girl coming through, here to do prideful things and learn a lesson about pride, probably. Meanwhile, Holo and Lawrence are out here slowly feeling out a new interpersonal dynamic. She's proud, and proud to be proud, but she also knows that she's relying on a stranger to go pretty far out of his way on nothing but a trust me bro, I'm good for the money, after she was more or less laid off from her job as a harvest deity. She'll lash out if offended, but she's self-aware enough not to break down when she does, and the two of them work to smooth over the inevitable bumps in a new relationship by actually fucking talking to each other. They build up trust by teasing. She'll brag, but she backs that up with genuine confidence that's quickly borne out by her usefulness. She has moments of shocking vulnerability, but instead of straightforwardly undercutting her pride as you would see in other shows, that openness is delivered in a way that highlights how comfortable she is with herself. It's an extremely mature character note, and one I aspire to myself, which makes me wonder how much my exposure to Spice and Wolf at a formative age influenced who I am today. Spice and Wolf gives its characters the same care Jujutsu Kaisen gives its great fights. They're intricate, but they make sense, and if you take the time, you can plot a direct line from every action back to the motivations and circumstances that drove it. That maturity and romance is what really sets the show apart, what makes it feel like something by, for, and about adults. I mean, hell, Holo's some kind of super adult, technically, even if she's in the body of a teenager. Look, it's anime, okay? We all knew what we were signing up for. Having watched further ahead than we're going to get this season, I can confirm that Holo is an actually well-written female character with buckets of plot agency, an absolutely top-tier waifu. Spice and Wolf is a cool glass of water after you've been drinking nothing but fruit juice concentrate for a week. It's not flashy, but it's good, and you can tell it's good for you. You need this stuff, even if it's all too easy to forget that when you're drowning in canned fruit punch. And wait, who's doing the soundtrack? Oh, come on, do I really need to keep selling you on this? We can just pack it in, right? Setting aside my personal bias in favor of good writing, and this show in particular, I'm sure there are people out there that are going to be bored to tears by episodes centered on second-guessing currency exchange rates. It's also not always subtle with its plot and character beats, sometimes brushing up against melodrama, even if it does have enough self-awareness to undercut it and avoid degrading its characters. If, like me, you've been dreading having to go back to the status quo of anime writing after being spoiled by Frieren, give Spice and Wolf a shot. I promise, there is way more to it than just the low fantasy goods trading. Also, I need you all to know that Yare was a girl in the original adaptation. I don't know why they changed it. He's a man in the source material, so who knows? I also need you to know that the tagline for the light novels is Merchant Meets Spicy Wolf, spelled like so. So, thank you, Japan. Never stop using English.